And what better way to represent the Zergs than to have the most recent GSL champion spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Site Delta. It is Onside Gaming's Solar. And his opponent in the upper left-hand corner, playing for Club NV, it is Creator. Creator already taking down Nightmare in a PvP, Gumiho in a PvT. Now going for the third matchup, trying to get the what's the horse racing thing? Oh man. Triple crown? That's it, right? The triple crown. That's what we're looking for. Whew. It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning. The brain's just not. We're not at full function right now. That's, you know, it's just how it goes sometimes. Who needs full function? We have partial function. But yeah, cool to see some Zerg representation here. Solar took down DRG in the last round. And then the other side of the bracket, Dark and Shin fought it out for the semifinals. So a full half of the quarterfinals was Zerg. That's pretty cool. I feel like a lot of times in these Open Cups, we don't get too much on the Zerg side of things. Dark pretty much plays in every single one, so Dark will be there. But Solar, who used to play in just about every single online cup. He was the Korean that played in every online Open Cup that existed. I feel like he doesn't sign up for them quite as much anymore. He still does, you know, a bunch of them, but we don't get him in KSL every week. We don't get him in the EPT Cup every week. I think he's been a little bit more, I don't know, maybe focused in his practice or just doesn't want to overdo it. And with, you know, a big result in GSL, some other solid results in the last couple of years, I feel like there's a good payoff there for him. I think Creator's going to be the underdog in this matchup right now, just with the way Solar's been playing, the level Solar's been at. Creator did look very good against Gumiho, but very different matchup, very different player. Gumiho giving us some mech TVP. I don't think Solar's going to go mech. You never know, though. Maybe Solar will find an SCV out on the map to neural. And then with that SCV, you can build a command center. What if they were just like neutral units like that? What if there was a neutral SCV on the map? There's an idea for you in the RTS world, right? If every race has a way to like mind control the worker of another race and could theoretically build any unit from any race, and you had neutral workers out on the map of each race, could theoretically build the perfect army with all 3 races. What would that look like? What would the best army be? If you could build any unit from any race, what would the best army be? I feel like having Vipers with Marine Tank and like force fields could be pretty goated. If you could use every single spellcaster in the game and like actually could micro it all perfectly, that would be, it'd be crazy. With like a Marine backbone. I don't even know. I really don't know. There's so many options. There's so many things. Watch like Mass Carrier still just be the best unit composition. Like, well, if you had the perfect army, it would actually just be 40 carriers. But no carriers this game, at least not yet. Because we have Glaive Adepts here from Creator. He's going to try to get in here. Solar has read this correctly, and he's just going to pull those drones back. The Adepts are not really going to be able to do much to this hatchery. The Queens will body block out front while they wait for some roaches. The Lings are going to hold the back line and keep an eye on those shades. And Solar is just trying to not take any damage here. He can't really afford to lose too many drones. He's just trying to get some roaches out. Transfuses the roach to keep it alive a little bit longer. The adept count is getting higher, though. When Creator's threatening the shade, kills a roach, decides not to shade, but more adepts warping in. The Lings are showing up here to help out. This is so many adepts out of Creator, and he's really putting the pressure on. He's threatening the shade once again. This time I think he will finish it, as the Lings are not there anymore. And these adepts are starting to get into the main base. Lings showing up just a couple at a time. The Prism is in the main to help reinforce, and Solar is in some trouble here. Can the Lings and Roaches clean these adepts up? The adepts are going to shade out. There's still a few in the main, though. Solar's got to split his forces to deal with this now, as the Prism comes back out and all of the adepts shade out. Solar needs to get the Roaches and the Queens down there to help. But the adepts are just killing so much of Solar's stuff. Now, a lot of these adepts have died, and I wouldn't hate to see a couple of the adepts stay down here. Ooh, good Queen positioning from Solar. He's going to stop that warp in, or at least delay it. Oh, I think he's got to stop it again. Oh, Creator's going to let this one finish. The Warp Prism taking a lot of damage, though, and it goes down. Solar gets the kill. So far, I think 2 drones might have died, but here we go. Creator's going to start focusing down some drones. 3 more going down here as the adepts try to move forward, target down some drones. Solar down to just 35, 34 workers as the adepts are going to shade away. And they might just back out of here now. There's no reinforcements. Creator's taking a 3rd base back at home, putting down a Dark Shrine and starting up an Immortal. He's got to be careful not to lose too many of these adepts, but he kills a Queen. Good transfuse there, keeps that Roach alive. And the Roach is trying to chase the adepts. They will not catch them. 9 drones on the way now. Solar trying to pump those drones out. The 3rd base is only halfway done for Creator. So Solar's economy, yes, it took a big hit. Creator had better mining here for a little while all those drones were pulled and getting killed. But now this should spike in Solar's direction. So Creator needs to figure out what the next thing is that he's going to do to keep Solar from that huge spike, which will allow him to just build a ton of Roaches and Lings. He'll be able to start up Roach speed very soon as the lair is done. There's double Overseer on the way here as Solar has realized the possibility of DTs. I don't think he scouted them, but he's just a smart man. And that Dark Shrine finishes up, but I don't think we have any DTs out right now. And with the Overseers popping here, it's less likely the DTs will be able to get too much done. Yeah, in fact, they're just going to morph into an Archon and not even worry about it. But Solar up to 64 drones very quickly, and now becomes the problem for Creator. His 3rd base is up and running, but we see that move of the economy in favor of Solar. Now it should get to a relatively even point, as Solar does not have a 4th base up yet. But he's already starting to drone up this 4th base that's on the way. So Solar is not going to commit super hard to like a 3 base pressure. He is building a lot of units on his 3rd base, though, and I think he's going to put some pressure on with these Lings, Roaches, and Ravagers, perhaps? Creator doesn't really have much back at home. The tech here for Creator is not huge. He's got Charge finishing up. He does have a couple of Immortals and an Archon out. A couple of Archons out. But Ravager Biles could still be annoying on some of the shield batteries. Might be able to pick off a cheeky Archon. Solar Supply is starting to jump ahead by quite a bit. As he gets into Banelings, Bane speed is on the way. Creator going for a pretty quick 4th base, considering how late that 3rd was. That might be an opportunity for Solar. Solar, though, has not pushed across the map at all. He hasn't really been spreading any creep. Obviously, those Queens were very busy early on. He did lose a few. But Creator is out here. What is Creator doing out here? He's going to pop the Guardian Shield. Banelings, though, are just going to get on top of some of these Adepts. And oh my god, this army is for sure just all gonna die, right? The Adepts do shade forward, but there's some Ling reinforcements here ready to go. Solar is going to clean all of this up. And Creator just taps out immediately. That move out was definitely not the play there for Creator, and I don't think he realized how heavy on like hatch and lair tech army that Solar was. Solar was nearly maxed when that move out from Creator came across, and just ill-timed. I think Creator might have Thought that Solar went a little bit harder into economy, a little bit harder into tech. But Solar, he played that very well. Went into a lot of units on 3-base saturation. And yeah, was able to take down Creator's army. I think even if Creator had played defensively, that would have been hard. But the fact that he just moved out there, bit of a misread on Creator's part. And now we get into game 2. We are going to Hard Lead. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner, we've got Onside Gaming's Solar. Recent GSL champion. He's up 1-0 in the semifinals. His opponent in the upper left, it is Club NV's Creator. The Adept early game from Creator was really, really nice, but it was so committed that even with a bit of drone damage, some good trades, I think, against a lot of Lings, Roaches, Queens, it felt decent for Creator, but it just wasn't quite enough. I think there was an opportunity there where maybe if he had split off a couple of Adepts into the main, a couple of Adepts into the natural, things could have gotten really dicey for Solar. That's when those Glades Adepts are super dangerous, is when they're split up, and it's just when it's just 2 Adepts here, 2 Adepts there, and you need your whole army to fight the main group of Adepts, but like you have to send something to deal with the 2, or they'll just target down like 12 drones in an instant. Ugh, so difficult for the Zergs to handle. But Creator not able to get those split offs, didn't end up getting too many drone kills, and Solar just immediately exploding into full 3-base saturation behind it. Really well handled by the GSL Champ. You know, it's funny, Hard Lead. I know that's like a saying, right? That's usually, it's got to be referring to bullets. Hard lead. I'm going to lay down some hard lead. But lead's a really soft metal, right? Lead is like if you have lead, it's really easy to dent it and to shape it. As far as I know, it also has a very low melting point. It's extremely heavy. Very heavy. It is a heavy metal. Just like Sammy Hagar was singing about. But it's not hard. So what does hard lead mean? Can you make lead hard? I wonder if there's like a lead alloy that's really hard. I'm sure there are harder lead alloys. So I guess the question is, what lead alloy is this metal? If it's a hard lead, is it like a lead steel alloy? Lead aluminum alloy? What do we got here? I feel like that wouldn't be very hard either. I don't think aluminum's particularly hard. Or maybe the lead is hard in like a different way. You know, maybe the lead is like it's been to prison. You know, it's kind of hard. I heard if you go to prison, you get hard. I haven't been there, though. I wouldn't know. Okay, so the Adepts get in. They're going to grab 4 kills. Oof. Nope, saves it with the Spore Crawler. 3 kills there for the 2 Adepts. I'd say that's kind of an even trade, relatively speaking. Is a little bit of lost mining time as well for Solar. But now Solar's on the other side of the map with some Lings, and I mean, there's no drone coming out for the 3rd base right now for Creator. Ooh, the Oracle gets in, gets a couple more kills. So far, this harassment opening going pretty decently for Creator. He is going to try to take that 3rd now. A few Lings nearby, but Creator has spotted them, and he's got the Oracles in position to deal with them if they decide to come in. Stalker moving out of the wall. But again, the Oracle's doing their job. saving them, allowing that third base to go up, no problem. Just little bits of annoyance back and forth. And we macro. Creator going to drop the Twilight Council and the Forge. Be interested to see if he decides to go for like a blink in +1 or a charge in +1. I feel like blink is slightly more common, but I wouldn't be too surprised here for Creator to go into charge. I don't know. I'm not sure what he's been playing, what style. Charge is usually a little bit more, I want to say like defensive macro focused. You can get into a much more powerful army much quicker. But blink allows you to put on a lot more pressure. Of course, charge lots can do run-bys and things like that, but the blink stalkers are that more frontal pressure. Just poke and prod, trade against the links and the roaches as much as you can without, you know, with being super cost efficient with those blink stalkers. Blink also affords you the ability to defend against things like mutas a lot more easily. I don't think we're going to see mutas out of solar here, but yeah, like one of the nice things about a blink opening is if solar was thinking mutas and you already have, you know, 15 blink stalkers, that's tough. It's tough to find that value with those first few mutas if the stalkers are already out putting pressure on consistently. So it limits the Zerg a little bit going for blink. But again, blink stalkers are a little bit less like powerful, like straight up powerful than charge lots, which usually is followed up by like immortals and archons, and that's a very good composition of units. The blink stalkers a little bit flimsier, but they can also get some really sick value over time. All right, hold on. The 2-minute delay has caught up to chat, and now we're talking about the composition of lead and lead alloys. Apparently, lead is also very poisonous. Yes, I would not recommend eating it, although you can handle it just fine. As far as I know. Ooh, maybe this lead it's aroused. That's what it is. I see. All right, we're learning a lot here. This is important. Lead plus copper / antimony / arsenic. I prefer my arsenic to be with old lace. Maybe. Arsenic and hard lead. Oh man, that sounds like such a good arsenic and old lace parody or something. I don't even know. Arsenic and hard lead. Ooh, Lings and roaches and queens moving forward here trying to catch some of these units. Blink stalkers getting caught a little bit, but they should be able to blink out to the high ground. And it feels like Solar wants to put the pressure on, but I think he's just pushing these stalkers back. Creator is being annoying and poking and prodding with them. But Solar trying to keep that creep spread going forward. It's going to get cleared up here. The middle of the map is the very contentious spot. It's a lot of Lings over on the left-hand side. Creator trying to take this fifth base, excuse me. I feel like usually I would expect this one to get taken. This is a very forward fifth base. Well, ooh, the Stalker's getting caught a little bit. They are going to blink across the rocks. Queens are here to help push these oracles away. Now Roaches busting down the rocks. Banelings are being produced here. Bane Speed is about to finish. Solar, I think, is going to run these into this base. Things getting a little crazy. Charge is on the way, as is +2 attack and +1 armor here. Creator about to jump ahead in the upgrades, but it looks like this fifth base is going to be forced to be canceled while the Roaches bully the Stalkers back and the Lings get the full surround. Stasis Trap triggered on just one Ling as Solar continues to push forward into Creator. Creator doesn't have big, tough units out front yet. This is one of the downfalls of the Blink Stalker opening, but the benefit of the Blink Stalker opening is you just blink backwards and you can take some fantastic trades here. Creator doing a wonderful job on such a small army. These Banelings are about to come out of the stasis though, so he's got to be a little careful not to be completely surrounding them in the meantime. Okay, he's far enough away where they won't get too much damage done. Oh my god, the other stasis trap catches one. That Baneling on 1 hit point caught in the stasis trap. You'll love to see it. However, Creator holds on, does a beautiful job trading really, really efficiently, but Solar is not done. He's going to break down the rocks, and he is just going to push on forward. Now there are some Archons being morphed here, one Archon, but the shield batteries are going down. Charge lots come in, but it feels a little bit late, and there's still Banelings here for Solar, and Solar has taken a 60 supply lead. He is reinforcing, and this base is in a lot of trouble right now for Creator as the Roaches and Lings push up to the high ground, and the rest of the Roaches fight this Nexus. I feel like Solar needs to just focus this base down, and he can get it. Yeah, and I think he is going to get it, and at the same time, he's taken Creator's army. He's knocked it down to 7 supply, and that is the GG as Solar takes the 2-0 victory over Creator. Creator just not quite able to get off that Blink Stalker composition quick enough to deal with the overwhelming amount of Ling Bane Roach that Solar had. And Solar will move on to the grand finals of this week's EPT Cup.